Hi there, Leo. Thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for November. As the month begins, Venus, Mars and Jupiter continue to occupy the part of your scope that's very much to do with resources. You can be one of the most generous members of the zodiac, and with Christmas fast racing up, if you start to formulate your thinking in terms of gifts, then the chances are you're going to want to do your absolute best for those you care for. But Venus is also about how we feel about ourselves in this part of your horoscope. And don't equate necessarily money as the currency which equals the value of you as a person. It's important to see yourself in the whole. However, despite this, you may be tempted to splash out on yourself on the back of the quarter moon in your sign, which occurs on the 3rd. Be conscious, however, might this expenditure come about because an emotional issue is not quite as you want? With Mercury moving on the 2nd of this month, joining up with the Sun, I do feel that there's a potential for you to jump to conclusions at times during this month, especially about emotional issues, family matters, more personal considerations. This can be a factor in week 3 in a bigger way. Ironically, you could actually come up with some ingenious ideas to reform your home environment to make it that much more organised, uncluttered, to work that little bit better. There can also be greater dialogue with siblings, close neighbours, and anyone in your community that you have a real rapport with. This energy starts to pick up from the 9th and also the 13th, when Venus and Mars respectively glide into your sector of everyday communications. But there is a very powerful, potent new moon on the 11th, which is going to really encourage you to embrace the more emotional and sensitive side of life. Perhaps in terms of the context of where we are in the year, this could make you a bit more sentimental for the traditional values of Christmas. And with the new moon linking with Jupiter, the planet of plenty, this may see you doing something to help those who are less fortunate, which would be a very noble thing to do. But it also points towards the potential for some kind of stroke of fortune in the following month, or even 6 months, when it comes to your family, your home, or perhaps your own ingenuity. So something that you do, perhaps in the comfort of your home, could actually be something that you can start to make money from or increase your sense of well-being from in the months to come. But I do feel that the increasing influence of Saturn this month is something we can't underestimate. Saturn's moved into a part of your scope which is to do with structure around your self-expression. But Saturn moving through the 5th solar house is rarely such a joyous event. Saturn, after all, tends to repress. The 5th house is about having fun. So it's kind of saying to you, if you have fun, there needs to be a reason for it, which isn't necessarily the idea of having fun at all times. Sometimes we just need to be frivolous, flirty, and forget those everyday humdrum demands. But that's where Saturn is, and it's set to be there for the next 2.25 years. And it is angling up in a very severe way with the draining influence, the enervating influence of Neptune. And that's going to start to peak from the middle of this month. So just be conscious that whatever you are trying to do creatively, socially, that when it links to other people, you can be very sensitive to their influence. And if you're wanting to be close to someone, be it in a friendship sense, in a business one, in an alliance, in a partnership, or even romantically, it needs to be someone who lifts and enhances you. And anyone who doesn't do that is someone you should treat with great skepticism. Now the Sun and Mercury are going to move on the 21st and the 22nd, in reverse order I should say, into Sagittarius, your sister fire sign. Ordinarily this would give you a big lift of energy, and it may do so initially, but they are then going to be affected by Saturn themselves. So if there are plans and strands and ideas you have, think them through very carefully, research them, structure them, make sure that they're very, very robust, because On the other side of the heavens, Neptune's going to be there, testing them out, especially if money's involved, or the sharing of possessions, or even the input of time and labour. And there could be some confusion, even some deceit coming towards you, and you need to stay very firmly aware of your own motivations too. The full moon, which occurs on the 25th, is also quite testing, and suggests that when it comes to your friendship circles, or even your romantic situation, you may have to make the decision to focus on less and do those associations better rather than trying to please everybody all the time. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.